Welcome. Here's a reading, a quick reading actually, just a 3-card reading, past, present, future, for the new moon in tropical Virgo and sidereal Leo. It is opposite Saturn in sidereal Aquarius and tropical Pisces. Saturn in Pisces and water. And Saturn in Aquarius in air. Big wind, big water events maybe. Should be interesting to see what comes out of this new moon that is sustainable. Like Virgo likes things to be. Like Leo likes things to be. What is efficient? And if we're not happy, how can we ground ourselves more in divinity so that we are happy, joyous beings? Because collectively we seem to be having a little bit of trouble with that. May you live in interesting times, and indeed we do. Now, Om Shrim Durgaye Namaha, Om Shrim Mahalakshmiye Namaha, Om Aim Saraswatiye Namaha. May what we study be brilliant. In this reading, the card of the past is Spirit. Eagle, number 1. The first. You know, that primordial vitality before the Epic of Gilgamesh, when we lived in the garden. And duality had not descended upon us, and we didn't lose our understanding. Eagle, golden eagle, is the highest aspiration, the highest that is within us. And that, for the moment, is in the past. Maybe a thing lost. Maybe something to be refound. And the present card is Antelope. This is a card of action. This is a card of moving very quickly in order to survive, first of all, but also stay ahead of predatory influence. It's nice to be out on the plains and free. It's nice to be ambulatory. It's good to be grateful for the things that we do have, for the movement that we do get, for the changes that come, even if we lose things to time. Nothing is really lost if we act in ways and think in ways that keep it alive. And for our future, we have Moose. I think this is kind of a great reading. It's like, if you remember yourself, respect yourself, and act in ways that reflect the spirit, the primordial spirit, the untainted, undying, unborn self, right? If you act like you know who you are in your primordial essence, you get 2 cards that both equal 1, first of all, 1 and 1. But you also get self-esteem, which is 11. I have had so many 1s and 1s come up over the last little while, I know that this is the correct reading for us. So, moose being self-esteem, beautiful creatures, you don't want to be in their territory in the spring rut, or the fall rut for that matter, and they are territorial. So, taking up space, being who you are proudly, enjoying the confidence that comes from your primordial spirit, from acting in ways that are in alignment and sustainable. It's very Virgoan. It's also very Leonine, right? The Leonine leadership, that power, is, from a higher source, ideally. From the higher source, ideally. The land and the king are one, is the lesson of the Grail, right? If the leader isn't doing what nurtures the earth and nurtures its people, if he's not acting in that way, right? Antelope is action, then there's no self-esteem there. There's no ability to regard oneself kindly. And if we can't regard ourselves kindly, we can't regard others kindly. That's kind of the impasse that we've come to. It looks like what the cards are saying is that the way back to the primordial essence is to act with self-esteem. And you've got to like yourself, and you have to treat yourself well. Virgo season, sometimes the inner critic can steal our self-esteem. But then you do a reading like this, right? You're sure that you're not doing the right things with your life. You do a reading like this, and Spirit gives you 1, a number that reduces to 1, and 2 more 1s. I don't know. You can't make this stuff up, right? What's it all about? The ego. If your ego is not your amigo, you know it stinks, right? Getting over ways of acting that don't give us self-esteem. Getting over ways of seeing ourselves and our lives in ways that don't make us feel like humanity is good. Because that's the question that we face at times like this. If I'm not happy, am I presently aligned and sustainable? Do I have a connection to divinity? Not if I'm living in my ego. So we get out of the fear body, essentially. That's what this card represents. By remembering our primordial spirit, acting like we know what the primordial spirit is, and then reaping the rewards of self-confidence and self-esteem. I hope this has been useful to you in the next 30 days. It's a very simple formula, so I'm going to use it. I hope it works for you too. Thank you so much for your time and attention.